That being said, I wasn't a huge fan of season 1 of The Mandalorian. I was a huge fan of some elements of it, but I wasn't a huge fan.
Can I be honest? I didn't finish it.
You didn't finish it?
No, I think I made it to episode 5? What were the 8 episodes?
There was like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I made it to like episode 5. I thought episodes 1, 2, and 3 were really good, and I was really enjoying it. Episodes 4 and 5, or maybe I made it to 6. I want to say I made it to 6. And I so didn't care by episode 6. And it wasn't that it was bad. It just didn't hold my interest at all. It felt like they were just sort of, it felt like they just stalled out midway through. It was like they were doing these little like mini stories that were kind of just separate from everything else. But they kept acting like they had an overarching plot.
Yeah.
And they kept pretending like they were going to move it forward. But from what I saw, they didn't.
So The Mandalorian season 2 comes out, I think, like the end of this month, like the 30th or 31st. And that's what I'm really looking at is I don't say The Mandalorian season 1 was bad. That being said, I fully agree with that. I finished it and I still agree with that. There were some good episodes. There were some, that was what was so disappointing was there were some great episodes. They had such a great tone and feel. And then they really just kind of lost the ball, almost like they didn't expect the success that they got. Like they were kind of like, oh, this is just kind of our fun thing. And we just kind of did what we wanted with it. And it's not actually supposed to be some big overarching plot of like this massive show. It's just kind of like a try. They were just trying something new. And it got so big that it started to collapse under the weight of the popularity. Have you seen the trailer for season 2 yet?
Yeah, I just watched it yesterday.
What did you think of it?
I actually thought it looked pretty good.
See, I didn't think it was that impressive. It didn't look bad. But when I say that season 2 needs to impress me,
well, one of the things that I thought was impressive was that I thought the visuals looked better. Like, I don't know if, I mean, I'm assuming they probably
did they show visuals?
Yeah,
just
the
I've watched
effects
it a few times. Like, I guess
I just thought it looked better because
I felt like there was nothing to the trailer.
One of the things that was hard about The Mandalorian for me was that it kind of looked like those fan movies that you see on YouTube. Like, they're pretty good Star Wars fan movies, you know, but the effects just aren't up to the level that a Star Wars movie is going to look like. And I mean, you have to accept that with a Star Wars TV show. It's just not going to look like the movies. And I thought The Mandalorian did a fine job with that, but it did kind of remind me of those fan movies on YouTube. And that's not a diss on it, but I thought that the season 2 trailer, the effects look better to me.
See, when it comes to season 2, I didn't get much out of the trailer because I didn't feel like they gave us anything. Not that they have to, but what I'm looking for is something more. The problem with the first one was that the story started to meander and it felt like they were trying to do episodic adventures. And that's actually fine. I'm okay with that. But the way they did it, the episodic adventures were not all strong. There was this episode with this wrestler actor girl that was like just awful. Random planets in which they're like hanging out with people and just sitting around. And it felt like their justification for the overarching plot of everyone searching for this little baby Yoda made people not really... It felt like they were trying to tie them together when they didn't need to be or couldn't be. Like they were just like, oh, and by the way, someone's still searching for him, so we got to leave. We just got to leave now. It's like, it just didn't feel... it didn't feel cohesive.
They did rely on Baby Yoda a lot.
That's the other thing. I love The Mandalorian not talking, like hardly at all, but it made for really thin storylines a lot. And the problem is that the supporting cast of almost every episode was truly awful in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah. What was it? It was the episode that Bryce Dallas Howard directed.
Mm-hmm. That was the one on that like green planet.
The supporting characters, like I don't know where they picked up those actors, but they might as well have grabbed him off the street. Yeah, and just been like, here's a costume, go. That
was what a lot of the episodes felt like. So what I'm really hoping for coming into season 2 is that they're like, oh, okay, the first season was really well received, and people are ready to get away from the Rise of Skywalker, and people want all these nods to other old Star Wars stuff. They want Legends ideas involved in it. There's talk of Ahsoka Tano, I think, is going to be in this second season. I don't think we've seen her yet. I don't think we've seen a visual for her. I haven't seen a set photo. It's what's her name? Why am I blanking out? The girl from Punisher? Daredevil? I forget her name. But she's supposed to be in I don't know how big of a role she's going to play, but that's going to make a lot of people happy. Like everyone loves Ahsoka. So what they need to do is bring in these characters and get a real story going. And I'm gonna need something more from the Mandalorian as a person at some point. I get the whole he doesn't take his mask off and stuff and doesn't talk much, but we're gonna have to move more into that because they're gonna reach a point where they're no longer able to execute a story by the book. Like we need character. We need character and development, and it's gonna be really hard if they don't bring him in more.
Did you hear what may have happened with him? The actor it's Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
His name? Yeah, there was a rumor that he walked off the set.
Oh, see, I heard that, but I didn't hear anything about why.
Because he was wanting scenes without his helmet on. and apparently it caused like a big fight. And I think he went to Kathleen Kennedy and she got involved, and then there was such a disagreement that he just walked off set. And I heard that they're trying to get him to basically do the voice and just have somebody like his stunt double do the body and him still voice it over. I mean, it seems like I haven't heard anything past that. It's still a rumor. I saw the
clickbait videos about, Pedro Pascal walks off set, but I never heard anything about it. The other thing I saw, though, was I did see more clickbait like articles that were like, oh, he's back on set and everything's okay. He's still doing it. So I know that everything's okay, at least with the series. Like, he's not falling apart, but that would make sense to me. But that being said, I don't want him to just take his mask off and start having a ton of lines, but we need something in the form of a more relatable character that still captures the essence of the Mando.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. They're going to have to step it up or I'm not going to stick with it. The first season I stuck with, and it's enough because I do like Star Wars to keep me with it, but they've got to step it up. Yeah. So, but anyway, I don't want to spend an entire episode talking about Star Wars, though. There's so much to talk about. This isn't a Star Wars. I'm not trying to become a full-time Star Wars YouTuber, okay? Unless I get paid a lot of money. Unless those views start coming in. So I mean, I can't lie. I would. I don't know. I couldn't live like trying to come up with Star Wars content every single day. Like, and you can tell that they start running out. They're like just trying. It's because they get these periods of time where there's so much news, and then there's periods of times where there's less, and so they're groveling, like looking for new news. But